You'll take us through Hindalco as well?
So there is a consensus now, all the speakers suggesting to buy some or other metal stocks. Yeah, and there is one more premises to this. If you look at volumes in Tata Steel or Hindalco, as a matter of fact, even the PSU name like SAIL, you are seeing huge volumes. So if there is such a negative trend in market, why these vulnerable names to global economy would show you this kind of strength? This is probably because of anticipation that there will be a short-term weakness in dollar. And that would result, money flowing into some of the high beta space, and metal being very prominent one. So the easiest trade of Fed policy is currency trade, and which is flowing into metals also. Hindalco, yesterday we saw a good amount of short covering, huge cash based volumes. We have seen some formation of long position at lower levels also. At this point of time, I'm suggesting a target price of 84, 85. I have revised my stop loss from 72 to 75, 74 odd levels. So Hindalco is a preferred pick at this point of time. There are other metal stocks which also can do well, but you will see more percentage move in Hindalco.
Okay, you have a buy on a banking stock in the broader markets. That's quite a gutsy call, I must say. Bank of India is a buy for you. This stock is down almost more than 60% this year. You think it would be risky to go long?
No, I really wanted to give buy on SBI, PNB also. But then, I want to play on high beta space at this point of time, and that's the reason Bank of India. You rightly pointed out about the fall in counter. And in fact, from 135 odd levels to current levels of 115, 116, we have seen huge formation of short positions. The momentum is still down, but I'm taking a contra bet over here purely from market perspective, and I wanted to pick up a stock which has huge short positions, and Bank of India was one of the semi-large cap or semi-mid cap kind of counter which has huge short positions. So I'm expecting a pure short covering rally, and if you appreciate the fact that the stop loss, I have not given a huge stop loss. It's 110 for a stock like Bank of India. 4 to 5 rupees stop loss is not a big deal. So I'm expecting a bounce which can take this counter to probably 126 plus levels. Stop loss of 110 is very necessary to keep.
Fair point.
We have been in conversation with Prakash Diwan. Prakash, the acquisition that everyone's been talking about is Pininfarina. That's done by Tech Mahindra, interestingly, and not by M&M as we thought earlier. But for both these stocks, for Tech Mahindra and M&M, what do you think the impact could be?
I think for M&M there's no EPS accretive impact, because it really doesn't add anything in terms of profitability or business. But maybe for Tech Mahindra there's a design element. You have another area of work that you could get into. I still don't understand.
Some analysts are a little worried. Why was is M&M imposing on Tech Mahindra something which
this is questionable.
Ought not to.
Yeah, and especially the company out of 12 years hasn't made money. It's really tough. And you've seen that even locally you have a company called DC Designs. Which has raised private equity. Yes, but Dilip Chavaria, and it's never made money. So these companies take time. Of course, it has some marquee inventory on it, this thing, but it's built a Ferrari Spider. That's what it designed. So that's a great thing to talk about. But I think where Mahindra & Mahindra could benefit, if there is any, I saw was the SsangYong thing could, get revived because it badly needs redesigning. The Korean business that it took hasn't really taken off. So that and the electric car, maybe that could kind of be a big change. But otherwise, to my understanding, it really doesn't make any difference. In fact, it's a
You don't
cash
see the stock
outflow.
going up or down on account.
No, in fact, it was just a distraction from the NGT order.
Actually, that is what I wanted to really ask you. This whole diesel concern. How are you going to play the three stocks, Maruti, Tata Motors, and M&M? For your own clients, would you ask them to hold off for M&M? Or is it because it is attractive and ultimately diesel will not really go out of fashion? Is it a buy opportunity?
No, but,
just analyze the three stocks.
Yeah, I know that's interesting, and I was quite intrigued to see a lot of buy calls coming on Maruti, but it does impact Maruti also significantly. It's not that Maruti. In fact, the new cars that Maruti is selling are all diesel cars. I mean, if you think people are buying petrol cars with the Maruti stable, it's actually not the truth. And in Delhi, Maruti sells much more. So if this order goes on to the private domain, and beyond just the government machinery, then it's a disaster for Maruti as well. Mahindra & Mahindra does supply a lot of UVs to the government department and the police and all. That's why there's a lot of impact that it's very major for M&M. It's a big negative. And that's why Pawan Goenka, you could see in his body language that he was so agitated and trolled about the whole thing. But rightly so, it needs to get challenged. It's not something that can get accepted. But if it gets accepted, the bigger risk, Lada, is the contagion effect. What if other states also decide we're going the same way?
Yeah.
And
no,
if that
simply
happens,
because that might not happen, do you think this is a distressed time to buy the stocks?
no,
that was my
not yet.
question.
Till the clarity comes. In fact, it's best to book through your profits. If you're sitting on profits, stay out, because you'll get the stocks in this condition at a lower level. All the three of them.
All right.